Welcome back to Comic Corner.
Yep.
It's going to be issue 32. What we do, we just cover comics.
Yep.
We buy comics on the weekly, so we try to bring the reviews of the good stuff, try to sell you on the trade back, and then we give you a list for tomorrow's comics. And from time to time, we bring you some news. It's not like all big hitting news, but it's something that makes us go, huh,
yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And the first one up is that Damian Wayne might not be Batman's kid.
Yeah, this is coming from CBR, and the headline is DC's Deathstroke to face Batman in deadly custody battle. And I mean, I just don't know. I mean, maybe.
It kind of makes sense because Deathstroke had to go through the Assassin's League.
He did, and right? It makes sense with Talia and all that kind of stuff. But why?
Like, why now?
Yeah.
And why? I
guess it's because people don't like Damian.
I don't know, or is it they're trying to make something more for Deathstroke?
I guess, but
because we've been reading Deathstroke, we know he's in that weird place of am I bad, am I not? Can I trust my family? Can I not?
Yeah.
Where do I belong? Mm-hmm. And maybe in that mess, he's like, you might have another kid.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, I'm not that big a Deathstroke fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They don't write him very well. They write him like, I'm just a mercenary. I'm here to kill stuff. That's all.
His standalone comics are not well written, but when they put them in other people's,
I think that's
really good.
He has Hulk syndrome.
Yeah.
Hulk having his own comics aren't all that interesting, but as soon as you team up with some stuff.
Hulk is, I get you, but Hulk's had some really good small arcs.
And that's the thing. It's just like Peter David is like considered to be like the Hulk guy. He wrote Hulk for like 10 years at Marvel. He made some of the bigger storylines that you do know about Hulk. The thing is, like, Deathstroke was kind of just like an answer to the Punisher. To be honest with you.
Well, I see him as like evil, Punisher, evil, Captain America kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is just like he's not that interesting a character. Now
that shows like Gambit. They don't really know what to do with it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Like Gambit, when he's part of the X-Men or the X-Force, he's amazing. Yeah,
because there's Identity Crisis. I don't know if you read that storyline, but Identity Crisis was DC storyline from like 2006. Deathstroke just comes off as a badass. He's like, yeah, they paid me, and I'm gonna take out all of you Justice Leaguers. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen enough where he's a badass. I'm a Deathstroke fan.
Yeah,
and the like his standalone comics are like, he doesn't know what he wants to be when he's by himself.
Yep.
Like, but when you're paying him either to be a mercenary or a good guy, he just the story writes itself.
Yeah.
But they can't like figure out what to do with him. So this is interesting. This is something I want to read though.
Yeah, it's gonna start in April with Deathstroke number 30, and it's gonna run, I guess, through Deathstroke and through Batman storylines. It's gonna be a 6-issue miniseries or story arc, I should say, not a miniseries.
Gives another question: does Batman really care to fight for Damian?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just
like in that case, like I doubt he's gonna stop being Robin and stuff like that, or maybe he stop being Robin. Mm-hmm. That's weird. It makes questions. I kind of want to read. I'm in.
I'm at least in for the first issue and kind of see where it goes, but I'm not super excited about it because I do like Damian as that character.
I hate Damian,
I think that's the point for a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people do like Damian as a Robin. I think he's like, he has like the Jason Todd syndrome when he was Robin. Like, everybody hated him because he was a brat.
But I like him as a Red Hood.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like maybe that's something, but who knows with that one.
We all know Damian was not supposed to be going on.
Yeah, Damian was supposed to die fairly early on. Grant Morrison had said like in the first 4 issues he was supposed to die.
Yeah.
When he introduced them into his Batman run.
But then again, talking about stuff that could have been, should have been, the next big news is that from the Dark Knights, the Metal Knights, the stuff that we have raved about, that, oh man, can't believe this is the bad guys.
Yep.
There could have been a little bit more.
Yeah.
And as he was going through the list, it was like stuff was like, Man, that would have been really interesting to see.
Yeah, and again from CBR, Snyder had to cut several evil Batmen from the Dark Knight's Metal, and this is going off of like his Twitter where he was talking about this. He said there was a Punisher style one that initially just wasn't dark enough, but the preliminary sketches were really cool and he really liked them, but just had to cut it because it wasn't enough.
Why would he use this is just me and my simple brain that he works for DC. Why name a Marvel? Because he could just said there was going to be like a Deathstroke one.
Yeah.
And I would have pictured the same thing. Like Kevlar and actual weapons, because we all know Batman doesn't like using guns, but he does have a whole bunch of gadgets and weapons. Like I could see that style. That would have been really good.
I mean, but then
Punisher just brings him in like a broken like soldier cop.
Yeah.
He's like something like force. Oh, it could have been Jim Gordon.
But that's the thing. It's just like I can see why he cut it, because with the Punisher, he just kills people. That's all he really does. And if that's just Batman, there's nothing to that. Like, you'd have to fill that character out a lot. See, and I don't know if you can do that with one issue. It could have been
fitting really good if it wasn't Bruce Wayne, but it was like Jim Gordon.
But that's the thing.
How do you tie it to Batman?
They're supposed to be Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And Jim Gordon was Batman in a previous Scott Snyder run with the New 52. So
when he was missing for a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's called Super Heavy. Is the graphic novel? Just put up Batman Super Heavy, and you'll see Jim Gordon as Batman basically. But that was one of the ideas. Another one was a magical dark arts Batman, which you're all in. I'm all in. I like Zatanna, so
that could have been good though.
It would have been pretty good.
How do you man, Batman with actual powers?
Well, that's the thing.
Magic powers.
That's the thing is with
because he's sometimes connected to that demon. Etrigan, yeah, and
but besides that, like Zatanna and him actually dated for a little bit, so that would have been something. It could have been like the Aquaman. The one that they have, you know what I mean? It could have been that kind of style. Okay. But yeah, so that's probably why he cut it. It's like, oh, that's already the Aqua Woman one that we have, so it doesn't. It'll just be doubling up.
And if you're gonna pick between Aquaman and Zatanna, Aquaman's a bigger name.
Yeah, exactly. So he also said he merged Batman with all his villains. Batman who'd grown up in Arkham after being accused of killing his parents in the alley. So I mean, that would have been cool.
That seems like a really good story.
But
like, what happens if Batman didn't come out as like the victim, but made to be the dude who did the crime?
Yeah,
that would have been great.
It would have been cool, but they kind of covered that in a recent Batman story. Not the Dark Knight stuff, but they kind of covered on that kind of thing. And he also said a Batman who merges with Gotham itself. Which, if you read Grant Morrison's run, he like wrote that the city was alive and it was like in a grid. Basically, it was just one big grid of like breaking down things. And
is that the one with the pig?
Yes. No. That's almost like before that.
Oh.
That's like a couple of issues before that.
Oh, okay. Because it sounds familiar.
Yeah. And sorry if I'm sniffing and stuff and rubbing my nose. Allergies are getting the best of me today.
Texas has bipolar weather right now.
Oh, yeah.
Can't choose it to be cold, rainy, or hot.
It was 70 degrees earlier today, and now it's in the 40s. So it just drops precipitously. But that's pretty much what he was saying, and I can see why they ended up cutting some of them. Just it seemed repetitive, is it?
Like right before we get into the comics, what Batman would you want to see? Like what Knight's Metal? Because I know you're a big sucker for Two-Face. Imagine it was like the Harvey Dent style.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but I don't know. Like, that's the thing is, like, you have to pick things that are really big. And Two-Face, being a big villain, one of my favorite villain, to be honest with you, in all of Batman, is just not as big as the Joker, or not as big as, like, things that have been in movies. More predominantly like the Joker. Even Bane was a bigger part than Harvey Dent in the movies, you know what I mean? So it's just... What would I want to see? I'd want to see... I'd want to see a Shazam.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because
right when his parents get killed, and he's there and he's crying, the wizard just comes out of the alley.
He's just like, you've experienced this great tragedy, but you still show. I can tell you still have a good heart.
But instead of him being a good Shazam, Black Adam just like, the world has messed us up. Let's do damage. Yeah. That would have been great.
It would have been cool, and everything else is like kind of already done. Like, what would I really want to see? They already covered Green Lantern. They already covered Flash.
I mean, they covered the big names.
They covered the big names, and it's just like they did a good job with that. You know what I mean? So I don't know if there was anything else that they could really do.
They could have done like a Dr. Fate style, where he got, instead of martial arts and gadgets, just he went to the mystic arts, like trying to find a way to bring back his parents from the dead. That would have been really good story too. Cool. Yeah. Be like, he just like found a way to get him old books of magic, and he just dipped in there. And he's like, I'm gonna find a way to bring back his parents, and he does, and it turns him like a dark sorcerer, and he creates like part of the dark thing, stuff like that. Alright. Yeah, so either Shazam or that, I would have loved it. Yeah. They both fit in. There's like a way where you could get this lost little boy and transform him and make him dark.
Yeah, I agree.
But tell us what you guys wanted to see as a Dark Metal Knight. A Batman? That sounds weird.
We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, would you like to see a Plastic Man Batman?
No.
Just crazy and ball.
That's gonna be it for the news.
Yeah,
it was just two little fun news. Be like, get you thinking, and gets conversation between comic readers and comic fans. Be like, the what ifs.
Yeah, I always love what ifs.
We're gonna get straight into the reviews. We have one honorable mention, and it was just because it's good, but is that going to be the Super Sons? This one was the finale of the little arc they had going on. Of what was it called? The Sons of Tomorrow.
The Sons of Tomorrow. Yeah. Basically, it is Super Sons number 12. It's written by Peter De Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, and the art is done by Jorge Jimenez. But yeah, it's good. It wraps up everything except it doesn't address really what happened to the alternate Tim Drake. He's in a time stream, and it's really interesting because I think he might be a catalyst for a lot of stuff. Since he's stuck in the time stream. If you look at the back of one of the splash pages, it actually shows a bunch of big DC events that have gone on in the last 30 years, maybe. And it's just really cool. I liked it a lot. I want to see if that's going to turn into anything.
I wanted to see him, or maybe something with Booster Goes where the time streams get messed up.
And then,
but it's good. I mean, Batman comes and be like, all right, let's solve this. And
it's kind of bittersweet because there's a chance for Superboy to join the Teen Titans, and it just doesn't happen just yet. But
not yet. I mean,
maybe something to actually.
It sets up for the future comics that coming out. I mean, Super Sons is going to keep going. So, the first review that we've been going, that is going to be...
it's going to be Days of Hate #1, written by Alex Cott and a whole bunch of actual other artists, writers. But an artist is Danjel Zejic.
The art in this is awful.
It's very messy.
It's there, and you could tell, like, they were trying something... And it's, I don't know, it's weird. It just like, it's not good. It's not good art. But the story makes up for the art.
Yes.
This is based on our future 2022.
2022, yeah.
All right. Civil War broke out in America again, and this is the aftermath.
Yes.
And you're getting told a story between a couple. Two girls?
Yes. One of them is Amanda, and the other one is... I can't even remember the other one. But
okay, so
it's a lesbian couple that was married. Basically, the world is kind of torn apart.
Yeah, after the Civil War, you have like super Nazis, and you have
the alt-right.
The alt-right Nazis, and you have the radicals, and you have this stuff. And meanwhile, when their world got turned around, this lesbian couple is going through stuff.
Yeah.
And it's dark and it's greedy. And you're like, and at the end when they're explaining why she is doing what she's doing,
yes,
I was like, more, and the art, you could just say.
It's a very simple story that it's captured perfectly with the violence that's going on. The violence is ramped up even in the future, where there is like these new neo-Nazis or alt-right as they call them in the book, and these Democrats are kind of having this civil war, and there's this kind of attrition war between these warring factions. People are killing each other. They're trying to figure out a lot of stuff. There's a bunch of subplots that are just starting in the book, but the main plot is the lesbian couple. One of them is the leader of the rebellion, the democratic kind of deal, and the other one is just kind of fed up and doesn't want to deal with anything.
She's just angry at the world.
Exactly. So it is a really simple story, really good.
And it's good because you could almost they pick places, things that's going on right now in the world. So it could be like it can happen. So I mean, it's good. It's a really good read. You usually have to forgive the art. The art, it's messy. It's like it looked like it was rushed art.
Yes, but
with a story.
I don't know. I don't think it was rushed. I think it was to fit the tone. I think they wanted a very specific tone.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit the way they were. Like the story's so captivating. Yeah, and the way it takes you.
But I think
the words alone paint the picture, but not the picture doesn't paint the picture. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, but I think what their thought process behind that is that this is a very, very kind of dark future that could happen, and they want to reflect that in the artwork as well. So it's something. It's still a good read. It's something.
It's like you tell they were trying something, but the story is great.
Yep. And next up we have Amazing Spider-Man Venom Incorporated Omega #1.
I thought you were going to seize their fruit. I was like, is she catching his hair?
No, it was just a long time.
Oh, man.
It is written by Mike Costa and Dan Slott and drawn by Ryan Stegman and Geraldo Sandoval.
They didn't let me down. They did not let me down. They gave me an ending to an arc.
They didn't Venomverse you?
They did not Venomverse. This was really... It was good.
Yes.
It was good. And mostly because it's an action-packed comic. But it took everybody.
Yes.
They had a big bad, and they took everybody to bring it down. And each one, you could tell, they had their identity.
Yes.
And they were portraying it. And you had Eddie Brock being the brute he is, not that smart, kind of head rushing. And this is one of my favorite little panels of the thing. And he's like, "Oh, how are we gonna stop him?" Yeah. He's like, because in the last issue, Flash Thompson, the Anti-Venom, gave everybody Anti-Venom weapons.
Yes.
He dipped their claws, their bullets, and stuff like that. And the bad guy knows. And Eddie Brock is like, he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go rush." And the best thing is the villain's like, "Oh, I know you guys have your Anti-Venom that could hurt me, but it can't do anything to a tree. And it smacks him with a tree."
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's like, "Oh no, they killed Eddie Brock. The world's gonna be sad." Love that.
Yeah.
But it was good. And it gave you an ending that lets you think there's something else gonna go on.
Yeah.
Like a future event.
It wraps up the story perfectly and lets you know that Venom's not done. Venom is here to stay, Eddie Brock, and also an Anti-Venom is gonna be a big stay in the Marvel Universe, which I like. I'm also a Flash Thompson meeting
that Manic girl got a revamp of her powers, and she realized she doesn't need the symbiote and stuff like that, but she still has the symbiote and stuff.
Yeah,
it's weird. And then the bad guy got stopped, but not completely. You gotta read the ending.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta read the ending. Spider-Man and Black Catwoman is like, what do we do now?
Yep.
And it's pretty cool. It's really
I honestly thought this was going to be your pick of the week just because even I liked it and I thought this is the kind of ending that you would have liked.
Oh, it would have been pick of the week, but my pick of the week, it
just edged it out a little more.
I don't know. It's like the more I read comics and the more I do this show, my way of reading comics is changing little by little.
Yeah.
This was captivating. This was fun. This was something. They gave me everything I wanted.
He's coming over to the dark side, ladies and gentlemen. He wants story.
But my pick of the week hit me in my culture and the way we conversate. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get to that."
Even a little bit of morals.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, we're gonna get to one more review, and it is The Mighty Thor number 703, written by Jason Aaron and drawn by Russell Dodderman.
This one makes you think and it makes you think too much.
Yes.
Especially with people that have either known or have people that suffer from cancer.
Yes.
It makes you think too much. And I was like, damn. If you guys don't know, Jane has been going through the am I gonna die? Am I gonna die?
Yeah, she's basically had breast cancer for an entire year.
Yeah.
And the way that they explain what is going on with her is so... It would make sense in terms of how a god kind of deals with this kind of thing.
Which, again, I hate the way they're doing things with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because what was that other comic that we read that everything happened and Doctor Strange just came in, he's like, I could have stopped everything. I just wasn't here in time.
Was it Venomverse?
Was it Venomverse?
It might have been.
No, it was something else. But I think it was an Avenger comic.
That No Surrender one?
Yeah, I think it was the Avenger comic.
Okay.
Where he's like, stop, I could fix all this.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, I think it was the trade back we were talking about. He came with Scarlet Witch and he did it real quick.
Yeah,
Like that. So it's like that. She's in crisis and everybody has come and intervention her. Mm-hmm. She's like, you can't turn into Thor no more because if you do one more time, you're done. You're dead. Yep. Or you won't be able to turn back to your human side.
Yeah.
So she would have to be.
You killed Jane Foster.
Yeah, you would have to be Lady Thor forever.
Yeah.
And Odinson and weird characters that I had no idea she was connected to.
Yeah.
She's like
Misty Knight.
Yeah. And the Falcon and people that know her true identity.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we need Jane to live.
Yeah.
We're like, you can't do this to her, so they're kind of tired down to the hospital bed.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then Doctor Strange comes, is like, I have the reasons and the answers. Mm-hmm. Well, so this is all going right during the room, stuff like that. Meanwhile, Asgard's being attacked by the villain that was revealed on the last issue.
Yes, the Mangog.
Which is weird because his story is weird too. I like it. It's full of darkness and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They don't really explain how he got so strong. Yeah. But he's destroying Asgard. Mm-hmm. But this is going on. Odin's like, oh no, Asgard's good. Mm. You don't have to come. You don't have to worry about it. You worry about healing yourself and stuff. But then the hammer comes, is like, yo, they kind of need you over there. Can you? Can you go and help? Yeah. And it's like circling around her, and she's gonna grab it, and everybody stops her, and he's like, "No, we got this." Yeah,
it pulls at the heartstrings because if you have known anybody with cancer, it is a very unforgiving disease, and it puts everything in just perspective for this. Honestly, it is. It's a hard read when they break it down and what Jane Foster goes through. Oh, yeah. But the ending is very good. It has a very heartfelt kind of ending with Jane Foster. Yeah. And you're actually going to see Mangog take on Odin, and Odin's scared of Mangog. So that's really cool. You
kind of need Thor.
Yeah.
And you have to read the comic to find out what choice she makes. Yep. Does she go and save Asgard and all the gods? Mm-hmm. Or does she choose to save herself and become human? Mm-hmm. And it's a great read.
It was really, really good.
But that's going to be it for our reviews. What we got our picks of the weeks.
Yep.
All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to bring you back our pick of the weeks. Mm-hmm. First off is going to be...
my pick of the week, and it is Superman number 39, written by Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason once again. And the art is done by Barry Kitson. I love this so much. This was the absolute perfect Superman story.
Oh, there's actual websites that agree with you with that.
Yeah, it just encapsulates exactly what Superman is so well. He is a beacon of light to everybody. That's what it was.
I could see that.
Because it starts off with him just kind of like taking on these kind of Z-list kind of villains, and he's just kind of okay, whatever.
They're like a construction crew.
Yeah, it's like
weird.
I think it might be an ode to something like the Wrecking Crew in Marvel, If you kind of remember those jackals.
Okay.
But the thing is, he does it. He's taking down these villains in front of kids, and it's in front of what seems to be a cancer ward. And it seems like cancer is kind of a big thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's these kids that are just kind of dealing and showing, like, you know, their inner strength, and showing that there's very few points of happiness in their life right now, and how Superman is that shining hope. Like, you know what? I'm gonna be here with you. I'm your friend. I'm gonna take you on an adventure. And he basically brings on Hal Jordan, and they take these kids to space, and they just do things that kids would enjoy. It's so heartwarming,
it's a lifetime.
Exactly.
Like this is like a lifetime movie, and it would have won awards.
Exactly.
How good it is.
Exactly. It would have been just a very touching, like, kind of maybe cheesy like Lifetime, but it's just very well written. And how Superman is just he is the superhero, because, you know, these kids are like going through some troubles, and how he eases, you know, their fear and things like that about the unknown. It was just so good. It captured exactly what I love about Superman, and what people always are like, oh man, this is just
Boy Scout
this is just Boy Scout stuff and blah blah blah. It just shows you that is what I think a superhero should be.
Okay, you're not wrong.
No?
All right, but this could have been easily a Justice League comic.
No, it could not.
It could have.
No.
The way it could have been just.
No.
And sometimes as we read these comics, and as the narrations and the art and those story style has gone really dark in comics.
Yes.
What we call the Game of Thrones everything now.
Yeah.
And that's what people want. They want gore. They want
Grim,
grim darkness, and sometimes you forget comics were invented to entertain children and put a good message out there. Like, they wanted to give the world heroes they could look up to, and you wanted your little kids to be like, I want to be like him when I grow up. Right? People forget that. People forget that that's the reason that the hero always wins.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to captivate kids and doing good and having a role model they want to be.
Yes.
And this comic brought that back. I didn't really enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed it. Could be like, okay, there, but I'm like a realist right now, and I know the world is in a dark place and stuff like that. But it wasn't. You're right. It is good.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. You're like, okay, like Thor. Thor brings the darkness of the sickness.
Yes.
But this one turns out that even if you are in a place where people say, hey man, you're sick, you can't really do this, you have someone to show you that, hey, the world is yours as long as you put yourself in a good mental. Yeah. And it's good. It's good.
It's and you were saying that this could be a Justice League. It really can't, just for the fact that Justice League as a book is supposed to be about the world and saving the world from different crises. Like, that's what Justice League is.
Yeah, like the big evil they can't take down by themselves and stuff like that.
It's the thing. It's supposed to be a bad guy or something that one superhero can't take care of.
But
and this isn't necessarily that. This is literally just there's good in the world. You just have to keep fighting for it.
But the thing is, like, one of my favorite panels in this was they're playing a scavenger hunt inside the Justice League Watchtower.
Yeah, the satellite. Yeah.
And everybody's looking stuff. It's cheesy, right?
Yeah.
But one of the items is to make Batman smile.
Yeah, to have a picture. Yeah.
And the way one of these children do it was so great. Yeah. Because I was watching. Who was I watching lately? The Killing Joke. That ending. Yeah. That ending. You guys don't know the ending of The Killing Joke? It reminded me of that. I was like, okay. Yeah. Sometimes forget that Batman is just human. Yeah. And the smallest things could actually make him laugh and smile and stuff.
Well, I don't know if you got the point of The Killing Joke.
No, I got the point of The Killing Joke. No, it was in. I was having a conversation with my brother. And he's like, you don't really ever hear Batman laugh. Yeah. and sometimes stuff is just funny.
Yeah. And that's exactly a little kid basically it hits a whisper bubble, and then he just goes and he just gives a little smirk, and everybody starts snapping pictures, and everybody goes like, "How did you do it?" And he goes, "I just told him a joke." And they look at Batman, and he's just like, "It was funny."
Yeah, I mean, people forget that he's dark, broody, and and like he puts fear out there, but he's human.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the most human character there is in Justice League, so that's the reason I could see this as a Justice League comic. Yeah. But you're right. Without Superman, it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah. If it was just like...
If it wasn't for Superman doing that extra mile and being...
The thing is, you can't do this with any other hero. You can't do it because Hal Jordan's too aloof.
Hal Jordan's the beacon of hope of justice.
He's a space cop. So
he's a straight line.
Exactly. You're thinking about Flash, and Flash just doesn't have...
He's a scientific mind.
Exactly. Then you have Cyborg. He's just watching.
Yeah, like watching. Each of them, instead of showing the kids a good time, would try to focus on helping them get better.
Exactly.
Like in a way of curing.
Yeah, and Superman is just like, look, sometimes you just need to have a smile on your face. Like sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes
making yourself feel better actually makes you better.
Yes.
And it's good. It's good. A little cheesy.
Oh, it's total cheese, but
the thing is, we're used to these comics, and I choose to read action-packed or the dark stuff. Yeah. This is like go for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does remind me of what comics is supposed to be. What this I would give to all my nieces and nephews to read.
Yes.
I would buy copies, take them to like children's wards, be like, look, guys, the world could be a dark place. But always remember, there's heroes out there you can look up and stuff like that. Exactly. It's that kind of thing, like a charity and stuff like that. And it's good. It's good, but I wouldn't read it like 2-3 times.
This is the comic that I would say if you don't understand Superman, you should read this comic.
But then again, like I'm not a Superman fan.
Exactly. If you don't understand Superman, read that and you'll understand him a little more. But enough about that. We're gonna go into Tony's pick of the week, and it is Batman number 39, written by Tom King and drawn by Jolie Jones.
Oh, Tom King, your writing is someone get him on TV, like give him a novella and they'll win awards. Yeah. I'm not a Batman fan. Yeah. I'm not.
You're a Joker fan.
I'm a Joker fan through and through. But the way, like, if you've been reading the Super Friends stuff, the way it's been moving, this one gets you. Yeah. All right, and again, the background noise does not matter. Yeah. Oh, the background noise doesn't matter until kind of mid-comic. All right, the whole thing is that Batman and Wonder Woman met someone called the Gentleman. Yes. And he found out that he's finding this endless ward. That they gave him a choice, like, if you ever need a break, call us in, we'll give you a break. Yeah.
Once a year, they will trade places with them for one day on Earth. Yeah. The thing is, the hordes that they go against and where they're at in this universe, whatever, it's time passes differently there, so it's years there. So like you gotta understand, like a day in on Earth is years there.
And as you're reading the comic, you're like, man, why? Like, you show Batman shaving and you show them fatigue. And meanwhile, on our timeline, Selena Kyle is walking with this gentleman. And he's like, yeah, I have family here and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's like, you do? How is that possible? He's like, when's the last time you saw your girl? Yeah. It's like, it's only been like a year. Yeah. And Selena Kyle's like, that's impossible. Batman told me you've been fighting this endless war for thousands of years. Yeah. And he's like, time works different where they're at. Yeah. But before that, you see Selena Kyle meet Wonder Woman. You're like, and she's pretty and stuff like that. And you see, like, why her, Batman? Why you? Yeah. Why does she come and choose you, not like Superman and stuff like that? Yeah. He's like, because I'm a martial artist and stuff like that. Yeah. So in the beginning of the comic, they put that worry inside Selena Kyle. Yeah. And meanwhile, you see this plan, and then what do you do? Like, it puts that question in your head. What do you do when you're alone with this attractive woman, and you're thinking that you're never gonna go back to your regular time, and you're tired, you're fatigued, and you guys been through so much together because time passes differently. And it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do with this time passing with this beautiful woman and stuff like that? And she knows you have a fiance and stuff, but you don't know. You're thinking, dude has betrayed you because I'm guessing they know that time passes different there.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you do? And it's like novela. And I was like,
yeah, for sure.
I was reading, it was like, oh man. And then that ended.
Yeah.
I was like, really, DC? I threw the comic at the table, be like,
I mean,
you did not leave it like that.
Who knows? Because
and it says, when you're buying comics, it's like, this is the end of Super Son.
Yeah.
Super Friends.
Super Friends.
The little art. I was like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Where does it go? What about Catwoman? Are they really gonna do this? I was literally like that on my table. Like, through the comic and be like, really, DC? You cannot end it like that. And that's
exactly why he did that.
That was the only reason it's my pick of the week. And I would have been Venom.
Yeah. It was the cliffhanger.
It just like my grandma, my mom watch all these novelas and you're like, he did not do that, really. You know what I mean? You see my family, right? Yeah. And they're like, my brother's a big novella fan. And like, and you always have conversation between comic fans like the what ifs.
Yeah.
This is the big what if, and I'll be like, no, you didn't. That's how you're gonna read this comic. Be like, no, you did not, DC.
Yeah.
I was like, man. You finally give Batman all the happiness he wants, and you go and throw that little curveball. I was like, no, you didn't. But it's a really good read.
I really liked it, and the reason I liked it is just because of that end.
You could tell it was like a big. I was in because I just like put it on my head. I had like I've been talking about this like 3, 4, 5 minutes of how just like novella basis is.
But that's the thing is like this just shows off like. This is gonna show off how human how human Batman really is.
Yeah.
And faced with this tough decision, what will he do?
This is a dude writing Miracle Man, right?
Yes, same dude.
Man, this guy is just
how
much on writing comics about superheroes that doesn't matter they're superheroes.
But don't forget that he wrote. He was also the writer for that arc of Batman that we didn't like so much.
Exactly, but I think that art was based on Batman.
I think,
like on his superpower Batman.
I don't know. I think he seemed to be very hit or miss, but he seems to be firing on all cylinders right now.
I think he found his niche.
Yeah.
His style.
Yeah. His
way to present. Characters.
Yeah, what he really wants to write about.
Like the Batman story was.
Yeah.
Like you had good points where he wasn't focusing too much on the action of the comic.
Yeah.
But like in the Batman series, I remember the whole like flow of the story was good. It was just like, oh come on, you can't do that.
I can see it. But that is pretty much gonna end our floppy reviews.
Yeah, we took a little bit more time than we wanted, but comics are supposed to bring conversation. I always tell people that because I know YouTube is like, dude, you can't make more of a 20-minute show and stuff like that. And I have watched other reviewers and be like, they do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and it basically is like, it's good.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to bring to the world the way that I want to see comic be reviewed. I want to see that they read the comic and they know the characters and you like you could tell what they enjoy and what you enjoy. Like the Super Sons, you could tell that we were like,
Like the whole thing is like, for me personally, I share the same kind of philosophy with them. I wouldn't do the show if I didn't share the same philosophy. The thing is. Yes, we can do this, and we can do this whole show in 10 minutes.
We could do this YouTube style.
Exactly. The thing is, I want it long form. I always love talking about comics. When I was super deep into comics, when I was not joking with you people, I would spend $100 a week on comics. This was before I even worked at a comic shop. I would come over here, and I would just read. And I'd be like, hey man, you'd probably like this one. And we just like switch comics. All we do is just talk about comics and I used to smoke cigarettes at the time.
It's just the circle of friends we keep. People that we do the podcast with.
Yeah.
That was a point of mine. It's like, hey man, can you believe how they're writing this character?
Yeah.
And then it comes up like, how would we write it? Or what do we want to see? And why haven't they touched that? And it all just spawns from one issue of comics.
Yes.
And people are forgetting that. They're focusing too much on like stuff for the movies and they're this is why this is so good, because it just brings back the essence of comics.
Yes.
And you can't do that in a minute. You can't explain why Superman is so good and just say it's good because he helps kids out.
Yeah.
You have to bring more. You have to.
You have to. We
bring,
like to break down stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and we have tried it, and we probably will get you some videos there. It's like, oh man, just get it, it's good.
Yeah.
But these were very, very good comics to have conversation in, because it's not just about the heroes and their villains. It's about life.
I agree.
And talking about life and how it messed up, we're gonna try to sell you on this. Trade back. It's Deadly Class.
Yes, it's Deadly Class Volume 1, Reagan Youth. This is written by Rick Remender and drawn by Wes Craig.
It's really good. You know what? It reads like an anime.
Yes, very much so.
Like, I could see this in either a movie or an anime.
Yeah.
Which would be great if they do.
Which, for a long time, I followed them on Twitter, and they really haven't done anything in about a year or so. They were actually going to make a fan-made movie of Deadly Class, and Rick Remender was like, go for it. I want to see this kind of stuff.
Good. It does fit that. Like, animated show or a movie, even a TV show would be great.
That's what they were trying to do, yeah. They were trying to do like little episodes.
So you have this 14-year-old kid living in the streets.
Yeah.
And he has been through the darkest and more turmoil things you could have happen to this young teenager. He's lost his parents. He's lost everything.
Yeah.
He's been migrated from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Right?
He's Nicaraguan, and the thing is, he's Nicaraguan. His parents are killed. He just becomes a homeless kid. And just like that, life has just kind of dragged on, and he's kind of given up. He's kind of just like...
Yeah, he was at the point where he wants to end it.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you're hearing all this sympathy.
Well, it's basically the 80s.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's really cool, too.
That's why it's called the Reagan's Youth.
Oh, yeah, it's based on the whole anti-drugs, anti-weapons stuff.
And then Reaganomics, how it really messed up our country. But the thing is, he's not necessarily a good guy. He's not a good kid. Oh, he has a dark past. He's a hardened kid. You know, he's been just living on the streets and having to struggle for everything. He says in it like, "Oh, I've had pneumonia like 3 times this year." Yeah, it's the best birthday present there is. Yeah, exactly. So he's just like, this is not like a very nice guy. Oh yeah, like so he's been through all this stuff. Yeah. Right. And there is, like, if you get into the first couple of issues of the trade back, he explains that he was part of a home. Yeah. And that he doesn't want to go back to the home, and something happened in the home. But meanwhile, he's like, I'm being watched. It feels like I'm being watched. Yeah. And he is. And he goes and he gets, it's like being tested. Yeah. Right. He has to find like an old man for his shoes. That you could actually need, like, the old man needs the shoes and stuff like that. He's been chased by cops and stuff. Yeah. So it turns out that he's about to give up and everything, and some girl be like, hold up. Yep. You passed the test. You want to join, like, a League of Assassins stuff. Yeah, it's supposed to be a school of assassins. Yeah, it's basically a high school for assassins. I believe it's underground. Yeah. Yeah, so the whole thing is like... think of it like a murdering Harry Potter school. Yeah. Everybody's just like an A1 murderer. Yep. Or killer, or assassin. Hitman. Yeah, they're hitmen. So that's the whole thing, is they're training them to do this, and the testing that they do is deadly class. And of course, the school has their major rules you're not supposed to even think about breaking, and he's like... And guess who breaks them all? So that's the whole thing, is just like going through this, and you're thinking it's going to be like a feel-good towards the end. It really only gets darker. Each and every issue gets worse and worse for this guy. And towards... this is... I think they have about 6 volumes of this already. Yeah. Towards, like, the 3rd volume of this, it totally changes. Like, there's something very big that happens in the 3rd volume. Yeah. But in terms of this one, very good starter. It's good. It gets you hooked. Like, to be honest, I didn't know this existed until he goes... All right, we're going to talk about trade backs. You go read it. And I was like, wow,
I finished this trade back in maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just good because I like crime. I like action, and you have this secret society teaching kids to be hitmen, and you have this odd dude, his oddball be like, I'm done with life, so he would probably be down to do anything.
Yeah.
But you can tell he's good.
Yeah.
Like he has a kind heart, but it's been hardened so much that where it is the line.
Yeah.
Right. Like one of the favorite things of the book is that he is blaming the world for what's happened to him. He's like, I don't even care about religion.
Yeah.
But he goes, in the darkest time, I still pray. It's like, there is no God yet when I'm close to done. Like when he's gonna jump off the bridge, he's like talking to God. I was like, you could tell he's from like, it could go either way. Yeah. And the people around him is like, where do you go?
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's really good. It's a nuanced kind of book. But
yeah, pick it up, guys. I mean, this writer he hardly lets me down.
Rick Remender is very, very good, especially his indie stuff.
Where they don't put all the red tape. Exactly. Like, go crazy.
He's just like, go crazy. This is my book. I don't really care. We've reviewed Black Science in one of the early issues of this. So that's the whole thing is like he has done a lot of these types of stories, but
I think that's with every writer. When you take away the red tape and the whole just keep it PG, just keep it comics for Marvel and DC, and you give them liberty to actually tell a really good story, comes out. Yeah. So make sure to pick it up.
Yes.
But that's gonna be it for the reviews. Before we get to tomorrow's list, I wanted to remind you we do have a giveaway going. We're gonna give you a trade back, which is I Hate Fairyland, Scotty Young's book. Yeah. We're gonna give you 2 first issues. One's gonna be for Doom Clock, and the other one's gonna be for one of our pick of the weeks was a Hellboy spin-off. Koshi the Deathless.
Koshi the Deathless.
Yes. And of course we're gonna give you something from our sponsors here in Grimworks. We're gonna give you a controller grip condom and 2 pairs of grips. But you can't wait for the contest to be over because you still got about a week, 2, depending on how people join. You can always go to fategrips.store, Roman.
Yep. Go to fategrips.store. Like I always say, I always tell you, always tell you, go ahead and get the Pro/Glow mystery box. It's 4 pairs, 2 of each, and it's $10. But you can save yourself a little money by using our promo code Grimworks. That's capital GRIMMWORKS. Save yourself 20% off. Tell them the Grimworks sent you, and you can let them know that you're listening to us. It helps them out. It helps us out. And we can kick out these kind of giveaways a little more often if you buy them.
Right. Entertainment stuff needs all the help you can get.
Yeah. So again, go to fategrips.store. Use promo code Grimworks, capital GRIMMWORKS, and
you save yourself 20% on anything. Yep. He has grips, condoms, t-shirts. The way I put it, a controller.
Controller condoms.
Yeah, controller grips. Yeah. T-shirts, stickers, and he's trying to get more product. But what would be a lot of help if you follow us on our social medias too. We have all social medias. We have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search out Grimworks. To be honest, you could always join us where you're watching us right now. That's going to be YouTube/Grimworks. Make sure to subscribe, put on the ringer, comment, tell us what books you're reading, what trade back you want to see reviewed. How would you make the bad Batman?
Yeah, what would you like to do there?
And not, you could always go old-fashioned, because there's some old-fashioned people out there, and I'm looking how's the way to do them to get that.
I'm always checking my email, and you can send us an email at citypod88@gmail.com, and in the title just put comics, just so we know it's for this show specifically.
All right, Roman, tell them the list for tomorrow.
All right, so the list for tomorrow, we're gonna go with Marvel first, like we always do. Amazing Spider-Man 794. Avengers 677, Black Panther 169, Inhumans Judgment Day #1, Legion #1, Luke Cage 169, Marvel 2-in-1 #2, Marvel Avengers Infinity War Prelude #1, Phoenix Resurrection Return Jean Grey #4, Star Wars Poe Dameron #23, Thanos #15, X-Men Blue #20, and X-Men Blue Annual #1, which is going to kick off the crossover between Venom and the X-Men Blue.
Really?
Yeah, there's going to be a crossover there, so maybe you might.
Maybe.
You might
I
pick
mean,
it up.
X-Men books have been laying us down lately. But maybe they put Venom in there while he's hot.
I don't know. I think this one might be written by Cullen Bunn, and I'm not a big Cullen Bunn fan.
We said that about Tom King. Maybe he found his way to write.
Well, the thing is, Cullen Bunn has been writing comics for quite some time.
And it's not been good.
And he has... I'm not saying all of his stories are bad, but...
His track list is there.
It's hit or miss with me. I don't know if it's anything. If you have a suggestion, go ahead and put it in the comments below. I'll read anything.
Yeah.
So, but continue with the list. DC, it is Action Comics 996, Batgirl number 19, Batman Beyond number 16, Batman Lost number 1, which is the second printing if you haven't gotten any of those. The Dawnbreaker, the Drowned, the Merciless, the Murder Machine, and the Red Death are all those Dark Batmans, and they're third and fourth printings. So if you don't have them,
Gotta catch up to that metal.
You can catch up to metal. But Blue Beetle number 17, Demon Hell is Earth number 3, Detective Comics 973, Doom Patrol number 10, Doomsday Clock number 3, Flash number 39, Gotham City Garage number 8, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 37, Hellblazer number 18, Imaginary Fiends number 3, Justice League of America number 13, Nightwing's New Order number 6, Raven's Daughter of Darkness number 1.
Yes.
It's going to be written by Mark Wolfman. I like that. Ooh, it has a Yannick Paquette cover. All right, I'm in. Rough and Ready Show number 4, Suicide Squad number 34, Teen Titans number 12, which is the second printing. I don't know why what was number 12? It was the Metal Tie-in. Teen Titans number 16, Wildstorm number 11, and Wonder Woman number 39.
Because they're throwing out all the second, third printings for people to catch up on metal.
Exactly. Apparently it's going to come to a close in March.
Is
so
it?
March is the end date.
Okay.
All right, and as for the independents, what I do is I just kind of go through the list and tell you things that you should be reading or things that I think maybe a lot of people tend to read.
Yep.
But we do have 30 Days of Night number 2, which is a good horror stuff. Abbott number 1. We have Backways number 2, which was the Magic comic that you did like a while back. The Best of Rocketeer Adventures, Funko edition. I just like Rocketeer. I like throwing that out there.
Rocketeer is good though.
I love Rocketeer. It's so awesome. So good. But Betty and Veronica Vixens number 3. This is just funny because it has them riding motorcycles.
You can't ever go wrong with Archies.
It's true. Black Magic number 10. Going through this list. Gears of War Rise of Ram number 1, if you like that. Go Power Rangers number 6. Invader Zim number 27. Judge Dredd Blessed Earth number 8, if you like Judge Dredd, because I do. Kid Lobotomy number 4. Lumberjanes number 46. Maestros number 3 as a second printing. Number 4 is coming out. Manifest Destiny number 3. Mega Man Master Mix number 1.
That's so bad.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
It's a big book. It's a thick one too.
Yeah, it looks like it's actually some of the Japanese artists that are working on that. Ooh, nice. Moonstruck number 5, which is another good one. Looking through this. Sex Criminals number 21. Shadow number 6. Sherlock Frankenstein and Legion of Evil number 4. Southern Bastards number 19. Street Fighter Reloaded number 6. Exo Man of War, which is one of the only consistent Valiant titles that I actually read. But that is pretty much gonna end the list.
All right, this sounds like it's gonna be a big list for next week.
It is.
We're gonna bring you reviews either way.
Yep.
So I want to thank you for joining us and thank you for sticking this long.
Yep.
I know we kind of went a little lengthier than last time.
Yeah.
But hey, we're trying. But we'll see you next week.
All right, later guys.